Okay, so after every test, we will be doing a day of corrections. Some of you guys don't have anything to correct. If you're watching this video, you can go ahead and close it out because this doesn't apply to you. If you get 100%, you don't have to do corrections. And then you can go ahead and start your project, which I already talked to you about. So even if you only missed one question, your corrective is not going to take very long, and so you can do it real quickly, and then you're done. So here's what you need to do for your corrections. On your own piece of paper, you need to rework every question you got wrong in order to get a half point back. If you only write the correct answer, except for when I tell you, for example, 1 through 3, you are only going to write the correct answer because it's a calculator question. You don't get any points back, though, if I say you have to show the work for this problem. If you only write the correct answer, it's pointless. You're wasting pencil lead. You're not going to get any points back. So here's just an example of a new test score after corrections. So say on this test, you got 3 out of 9. Pretty low. Yeah, this is a 33%. That's a really low score. Yeah. If you do your corrections, what you get if you correct all 6 questions you missed, this means that, you missed 6 questions, right? Missed 6 questions. What that means is you get half of those points back. So you're going to get half of 6, which is 3, right? So you missed 6 questions. You get half of that back, which is 3. So here's your new score. Your old score was 3 out of 9, plus those 3 points is now 6 out of 9. This is a 67%, 66.66666, but I'd round up to 67. So this is a passing score now. So even if you scored super low, as long as you do your corrections, you will probably be able to get up to a passing score. Score before corrections, new score with corrections. So even if it's only 1 point, it should take you like 5 minutes to correct. Submit it real quick, and then you're done with this. If you're not understanding how this works, let me know, but just trust me, corrections are going to help out your grade. So for this video, what I'm going to do, you can kind of skip through it. If you got 1 through 3 correct, kind of jump ahead in the video. I have labeled questions 4 through 6 and questions 7 through 9. You can jump ahead in the video until you can see me talking about those questions. You only need to watch the portions of this video that you need help with. Now for 1 through 3, because these 3 questions were all just plugging into the calculator, there's not really any easy way for you to write your correction. So occasionally I will do this. For these ones, on your paper, all you need to do is write the correct answer. So say number 1, the correct answer was this. What I want you to do though is, it's very important that you still know how to plug these things in correctly. So still go back to Desmos or your calculator and try it again. Make sure you can plug it in correctly. If you're still not getting the correct answer, talk to me over Mind. You can send me a picture of send me a picture of your screen if you're on Desmos, your calculator, and I can tell you why you're plugging it in wrong. So questions 1 through 3, very easy to correct. Write the correct answer. Make sure you go back and try it again. Okay, so if you missed 4 through 6, now again, guys, I don't want you to get confused here. You are correcting your problems. This is probably not a problem you had. 65% of 117. You did have a problem that said blank percent of blank is what? So if you were struggling with 4 through 6, there's 3 questions, 4, 5, and 6. I'm showing you 2 different examples, and I want you to go back and try your own questions if you missed them. Again, you did not have this exact question. I should not see on your corrective you reworking this problem. I should see you reworking your problem. This is just an example to help you. Okay, so what you may have forgotten, guys, again, I warned you, is you were not utilizing the process that I told you to. For 4 through 6, you should have broken these up into individual pieces. 65% of 117 is what? What percent is one thing? Of 31 is 18. We translate this into a math equation, And then we solve that equation however we need to solve it. So for example here, we do need to translate the 65% because that's a percent. 65 divided by 100, you do that in your calculator, comes out to be 0.65. 0.65. So then we needed to know of. So you had to know of means to multiply. 117 is just 117, doesn't get translated because it's just a number. Is becomes equals. If this is that, they are the same, they are equal. And what becomes, we don't know. We don't know what it is, so we call it a variable. So this is now what I have to do. Now I ignore the sentence and I just do whatever I have to do here. Sometimes it's multiplying, sometimes it's dividing. In this case, I just need to multiply these two numbers because x is by itself. And then that would be my answer. So one more time, I'll show you one more example, and then you'll want to pause the video, go back to your test, and try and rework the ones you missed in 4 through 6 using this process. It does not matter how the sentence is phrased. Stop being like, ooh, this sentence is phrased differently. No, doesn't matter if it's phrased differently because we translate one thing at a time, no matter how it's phrased. So what percent? Now it does say again what percent, but that just tells us that the what is going to be a percent. And we know that what is x. Then I have of, and we know that of means to multiply. 31 is just 31. Doesn't change because it's not a percent. Do not divide that by 100. It doesn't have the percent symbol by it. We know that is becomes equals because this is that, they are equal. And then we have 18. So now I ignore this and I just focus on this equation. I have to get the x by itself. So I do not think, oh, but I did the other problem a different way. No, I focus on this. Yes, in this problem, the x was by itself. In this problem, the x is not. So if this is x times 31, if the x is not by itself, you should be dividing, right? Boom. And then we'd get this as a decimal and then as a percent from there. So there was one more way to be phrased. I want you to pause the video, go back to your test, see if you can retry the problems you missed, drop it down left to right, boom, 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 boom. Whatever equation you end up with, that's what you solve. Let me know if you're still struggling with these though. Okay, 7 through 9, these were the trickier word problem ones. So number 7, now again, notice my numbers are different, so be careful. When you go to look at your test, your numbers will be different. You need to correct that one. You can watch this and follow along to help you understand what to do, but go back to your test and solve that one correctly. So what you needed to do was you needed to start with the income. So again, when you're looking at your test, the first thing you should have written down was, oh, this is what we're starting with. This is how much money they make. Now what ends up happening is it gets split. It gets split into 8,000 and the rest. I think everybody had 8,000. That was the same. So we need to figure out the rest. So you should have the income and then 8,000. Again, here's the income. There goes 8,000. To find the rest, you needed to subtract these two. So subtract the income and the rest. Sorry, subtract the income and 8,000. This finds the rest. So 27,085 minus 8,000. So this is the rest in this case is 19,085. So again, you might want to look back to your problem, figure out, okay, based on the income that I have, there goes 8,000, what's the rest? So now we have two numbers that we take these 2% of. We need 13% of 8,000. That's what it tells us. And then in my case, we needed 17%. That changes again. So once you find those 2%, you just add them together and boom, that's how much he would pay in taxes. This is actually how taxes work. We're going to learn about that a bit later. So let me know if you're still struggling with that one. I did it kind of quick. Look back to your problem, see if you can see what you did wrong and fix it. I have not finished solving this problem, also be clear with that. Okay, number 8 was super easy, guys, but if you didn't do the lesson on fees, for example, you might have messed it up. Now, I was a little worried here that some people were going to think that I meant use the trick that I taught in the journal for tipping, but I said exactly. So I want exactly 21% of the bill. That's literally all you had to do. So in this case, 21 is a percent. We divide it by 100. So 21% of means to multiply with the bill. That's literally all you had to do for that problem was get your percent as a decimal and multiply it with the bill. That's all you had to do because that's how tipping works. It's a percentage of the bill, which means multiply with the percent. And then again, we want it to be exact. So make sure you had the cents on there as well. Okay, the last one here, because I'm running into class time. The last one is how much is blank percent of the amount in between blank and blank. So again, be careful that you on your corrections are solving your problem. I'm just showing you here how you would go about doing it. Your numbers will be different though. So we translate this. Now, how much is also what? We don't know, so I could say X, right? For how much. Is becomes equals 28% becomes 28 divided by 100 becomes 0.28. Again, you can do that in your calculator, but I know it off the top of my head. Of becomes multiply, but what we're multiplying with is this, the amount in between these two numbers. What you need to do was you needed to subtract them. 2786 minus 773, because how much is in between two numbers is really asking what's the difference between those two numbers, and that's subtraction. So that's what you would multiply by, is once you subtract them, that's what you take the percentage of. So still feel free to ask me questions, still feel free to take pictures on Remind and be like, hey, I'm stuck on this one still. I watched the video, but it's still super confusing. Make sure that you corrected the problems you needed to do off your test. I should not see these exact numbers on your corrections. Once you are done, you will take a picture, you'll submit it into Canvas, and you get the points back.